arrest the one black dude on the train because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting on the train. So you call the police. You call the police to arrest the one black dude on the train.
It's 2025 and we still going through this? Like, get a grip. We're not going anywhere. That's horrible. That's actually Alex O'Keefe. He's actually a black screenwriter. And that doesn't even matter because a Karen is going to be a Karen. I'm just wondering if the roles were reversed and he called the cops instead of her, were they just going to come arrest her without questioning her first? It's just ridiculous because us minding our business is not being suspicious. It's just you're miserable. Our presence just irritates you. And I'm not even going to use your age as an excuse because at the end of the day, you're old enough to know better.
Hello guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Trending Pulse Worldwide. My name is Amy, and what you just saw isn't just a one-man story. It's a reflection of systemic bias. So today we're talking about Alex O'Keefe, the award-winning writer who was handcuffed on a train simply because a palm-colored woman claimed she felt uncomfortable with the way he was sitting. And the police didn't even question her. They didn't stop to listen, no. They went straight for him because simply he was a black man, you know. And this has sparked outrage because it shows how quickly black people can go from minding their own business to being treated like a criminal. Even success, even excellence doesn't guarantee protection from bias. And we are going to look at the full video and show you how people are reacting to it because this is bigger than just one encounter. So let's roll the clips and then we'll talk afterwards.
To arrest the one black dude on the train because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting on the train. So you call the police. You call the police to arrest the one black dude on the train. I haven't done anything illegal. I haven't done anything illegal. I haven't done anything illegal. I am sitting on a train and one white woman didn't like my presence. Resisting what? Resisting what? What are you trying to arrest me for? I was sitting on a train. I was sitting on a train and you're trying to arrest me for what? Can I not even know what you're trying to arrest me for? Because a white woman, this white woman, resisting what? Am I being arrested? Put handcuffs on. I guess you're used to it. She was talking about you. They don't know. They just pointed. They just saw the black guy and they arrested me.
This video is so typical and yet so disturbing because the biggest take is that everybody stood there and said nothing. They could have easily stood up for the guy, but they watched him getting violated, knowing full well he was innocent. And of course, there was one demographic that was in majority there, and that's why we can't trust you. Even as I'm speaking, the video that I made prior, where I asked people, specifically those people, to show up, and what was the response? The video doesn't even have 100 views. But can I really say I'm surprised? No. That is exactly what I was expecting. So I can't even say that I was disappointed. Yeah. It is what it is, I guess, huh?
So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how black wealth, black fame, black success does not protect us against racism. When some arbitrary white woman can make a complaint on a train and all that doesn't stop you from being removed. This is what happened to Alex O'Keefe, a screenwriter, a former speechwriter for Senator Elizabeth Warren. And this is how police had him after said unfounded complaint from a white woman.
That's footage from Alex O'Keefe, who was on an MTA train the other day headed toward Connecticut when a woman on the train didn't like the way that he was sitting, and he ended up getting detained for that. If you're not familiar with Alex O'Keefe, he is a screenwriter who's known for his work on The Bear, and he's also done speechwriting for Democratic politicians like Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren. Allegedly, he was on a train when a woman complained that she didn't like how he was sitting. She asked him to change his posture, and when when he didn't, she reported him to the train conductor. The train conductor then called the police, and when the police arrived, they pulled him off the train, they handcuffed him, they detained him, even though no crime had been committed. He asked for a lawyer. He pointed out that the woman who complained about him was never even asked to make a statement, and eventually he was released. Now, this is very disturbing. This is a very clear example of how racial bias shows up, how power is used to police Black bodies. The experience of being othered, surveilled, or criminalized simply for being present. That is something that should not be happening, yet continues to happen in 2025. And the fact that this was recorded and shared widely means that many people are witnessing this. And I think for a lot of folks, this can re-trigger earlier experiences of discrimination and racialized violence. Incidents like this erode trust in public systems. This is not a one-off event. This happens all the time. This is part of a lifetime of experiences. And the reason why we need to be talking about it is to name systemic racism and implicit bias. We need to support people who have been harmed, because if we don't talk about these incidents, they are treated as anomalies or bad luck, rather than expressions of larger structures that marginalize people of color.
This is why we can't have nice things and where we are as a country now. As Alex O'Keefe, an award-winning screenwriter best known for his work on FX's The Bear, was recently pulled off an MTA train headed for Connecticut by the police because a white woman on board complained about his posture. O'Keefe posted a video on his Instagram and wrote, "I was arrested on the MTA train to Connecticut today, pulled off, handcuffed, and detained. An old white woman got on the train and immediately pointed at me and told me to correct how I was sitting. I refused, so she went to the conductor and complained. The conductor called the police and stopped the train. While waiting for the police to arrive, the old Karen's friend said, 'You're not the minority anymore.'" O'Keefe does not indicate where he was traveling from to get to Connecticut. He then continued by saying, "The police told me to leave the train. I refused and asked what I was doing illegally. They said I was disturbing the peace by not leaving the train. They didn't even take a statement from the woman that complained. And they only let him go when he demanded a lawyer and reminded them they didn't even take a statement from the woman who complained."
Now, here's the part that really makes this even more frustrating. Alex wasn't just stopped. He was actually handcuffed and arrested right there in front of everyone. And the only reason he got released was because he demanded to see a lawyer. And he also asked why the palm-colored woman was not being questioned. Now, think about that for a moment. A palm-colored woman makes a complaint, police show up, and they don't even question her. They don't ask for her statement. They don't investigate her side. They just went straight to humiliating him. And after all that embarrassment, they quietly let him go. No charges, no explanation, nothing. And people are furious about that online. The calls are loud. Folks are saying the police department should issue a public apology. And that officer who put him in cuffs should be held accountable. Because if they can do this to someone like Alex O'Keefe, who's well-known and successful, imagine how many other black men face the same treatment with no cameras rolling and no public outcry. And this wasn't just uncomfortable to watch, it was a complete abuse of power. And the fact that the woman who sparked all of this hasn't been questioned or held responsible is just another reminder of the double standard at play. And at the very least, Alex deserves a formal apology. At the very least, the officers should face consequences. And honestly, that's why people are rallying behind him. And it's not just support, it's a demand for accountability. Because without that, this situation will keep happening frequently and more innocent people and lives will be scarred by the same bias. The worst part is nobody even intervened. Nobody tried to side with Alex because he was not at fault. That is what we go through as black people in society. It's really sad. I hope it would change. So guys, with that said, let's talk about it in the comments. Drop your thoughts. I want to hear your perspectives. And before you go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more trending stories. Thank you so much. My name is Amy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay blessed and have a good one.